first glance, this new 350cc tax rule looks simple. Stay below 350cc and bikes are cheaper. Go above it, they get expensive. But once you think about it, this rule isn't just affecting prices. It's quietly deciding what kind of engines get built, what type of performance is possible, and even worse, what bikes we might never see in India. And if you care about motorcycles, this matters a lot more than it first seems. Most people are looking at this as a simple split, below 350, above 350. And technically, that's true. But in the real world, it creates three very different outcomes. First, bikes up to 350cc, tax gets dropped from 28 to 18%. That's genuinely great news. It benefits most motorcycle buyers in India. Second, bikes above 350cc made in India. Previously around 31%, now 40%. This is the biggest issue because this directly affects aspirational performance bikes that were becoming realistic for middle-income enthusiasts. And third, imported higher capacity bikes also become more expensive. That matters, but these bikes were already dealing with custom duties, logistics cost, and lower volumes. So while this hurts choice in the premium end, the bigger impact is still on locally made aspirational bikes. And that middle category is exactly where India was starting to get really good. Because over the past decade, something important was happening. We weren't just making commuter bikes anymore. We were getting machines that actually felt global. Better engineering, better performance, and for the first time, even multi-cylinder options were starting to feel within reach. This was the sweet spot, something aspirational that people could realistically aim for. And this is exactly the segment that got hit the hardest, because now, anything above 350cc is taxed significantly more, so manufacturers are left with three choices: either increase prices, cut costs, or redesign the product. None of these are ideal. And this is where the industry slows moving forward and starts adjusting around the rule. Because instead of encouraging better bikes, the rule is forcing manufacturers to design around an arbitrary number. And we have seen this before. India's sub-4 meter car tax rules pushed companies to design cars around a measurement first and product second. And the exact same thing is happening with motorcycles, right when India was finally starting to build genuinely world-class bikes in this segment. You start seeing things like 400cc bikes becoming 349 because manufacturers want to stay below that tax line. Earlier, the gap between these categories was relatively small, roughly 28% versus 31%, just a 3-point difference. Now, it's 18% versus 40%, a massive 22-point gap. And to be fair, companies, especially Bajaj Auto, with KTM, Triumph and their own Pulsar brand, have actually done a really good job here. On paper, power is very similar, performance figures don't look very different, but to achieve that from a smaller engine, it needs to rev higher and it needs to be tuned more aggressively, which means in real-world riding, slightly weaker mid-range, more downshifts for overtakes, and less effortless acceleration. So the difference isn't huge, but these engines are definitely not the same either. A better approach for the tax would have been based on things like power output, power to weight ratio, emissions, or license categories like Europe's A2 license system. Something that reflects how a motorcycle actually performs, not just an engine size. Because right now, 349cc and 399cc can behave very similarly, but are treated completely differently. So yes, 400cc bikes becoming 349cc is interesting, but that's just the surface. The bigger question is, are we moving towards better bikes or just adjusting around rules? Because that decision will shape what kind of motorcycles India gets in the future. What do you think? Was this a smart policy or a missed opportunity? Drop your thoughts below.